Situation Room.
Hello. Joe Biden.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Your call is reconvened.
The same way like I predict the fraction of Batkivshina and the fraction of Samopomochy leave the coalition. And in the coalition left less than 226 votes, so we do not have a majority. I personally, together with the Prime Minister, asked Radical Party Leshko to join the coalition that formally we can keep the legitimacy. But we don't have neither legitimacy in the parliament, nor in the public society, in the country. And
so if I understand this correctly, there was a no confidence vote. You blocked the no confidence vote, so Arseny is still there. But then there was a vote on the package that the government had put forward, and that 247 voted against that. So in terms of moving forward with additional reforms and additional things you need to do, you don't have a coalition to do that? Is that what you're telling me?
Not exactly. So first, he gave an assessment voting in the parliament, and parliament gave a negative report to the activity of the cabinet of ministers. That was the first event.
Right.
This is not immediately follow or means the resignation, but this is just a political estimation. Then, when it put the confident vote, me organized that in my fraction and in other fraction it was not enough votes. Also, Prime Minister works for that for sure, but I blocked the resignation of the government because I promised to do, just because. But now, when two fractions from four leave the coalition, we do not have a majority. Hello? Yes?
Yes, one moment for Vice President Biden. Thank you.
Introducing President Poroshenko.
Hey, Mr. President.
Very good to hear you, Mr.
Good to hear you. By the way, you and I have talked about this a lot before. I guess Monday's the second anniversary. Remember, I'm counting on you to be the founding father of the modern Ukraine.
Thank you, Joe. And I think that this message is very important. I just want to be a little bit more accurate. So we have no doubt that we should intensively implement the reform. But we should implement the reform with the way that people trust them. Because if people do not trust the reform, this reform is impossible to implement. This is point number one. Point number two, Joe, we do not have a majority in the parliament. That is the main message.
Do you have a majority?
You can make any calculation, but
with the Radical Party?
I have in my party, in my fraction, 136 members of parliament, and from them 16 are ready to write down the statement for going out from the coalition. He has 81. So altogether, this is 201, and we have lack of more than 20 votes. And even if Leshko can return or not return or going like that, we do not have a physical majority. This is the case.
How did you get the reforms passed just this week?
Say it again?
How did you get the reforms passed this week relating to the IMF?
Because I asked personally that fraction who go out from the coalition, I mean Samopomochy and Tymoshenko, that was my special meeting with them. They give me a message that because of the trust to you, Mr. President, we vote for the IMF and for the visa-free and for the anti-corruption, but we do not vote just because of the person of the Prime Minister. And that is their message. And that's why I'm very happy that we are strong enough and brave enough and lucky enough, actually, to have these changes now. But we should have an intensive negotiation how to find out the way how to return this fraction back to the coalition. But demonstrate that everything is okay, people are happy, we have a majority in the parliament. This is not true. The other fraction we can invite, but they speak only with the language of the political corruption. And I hate the idea after the Maidan, to buy the votes.
Poroshenko?
Yes.
1 moment for Vice President Biden. Introducing President Poroshenko.
I know you're working hard, but what is your latest plan for a new government? I've heard from my team you're now looking at a government led by Grossman, the Speaker, and also that just in the past day or so, I'm not sure the exact timing, but just very recently, you had Juresko on a Facebook page talking about wanting to consider being Prime Minister with a technocratic government. And I know you need 226 votes for whatever you do. Tell me about what's going on, if you're willing.
It was my key priority to avoid early parliamentary election. The new coalition or restore coalition should be pro-European and reform-oriented. Samopomic received my proposal about the technocratic government of Yaresko and to joint coalition, because the reason of the political crisis is that the three fractions, Samopomic, Batkivshina, Timoshenko, and Leshko, go out from the coalition, and we left together with the Prime Minister in a minority. I invite Samopomic and propose them to either to support Yareska or to propose his leader as a next Prime Minister. They said that they are ready to, they take some time, and after a few days they say that they are ready even just to start negotiation about possible coalition, but not to be member of coalition, just vote for that. I said this is not possible under our constitution. This is impossible. They should sign up personally their membership in coalition. And they put even for that 3 preconditions. Point number 1, changes or resignation of the general prosecutor, which I said, which is already happened because I sent the resignation letter to the parliament, and now it is in the parliament. It should be done immediately. Second, the changes in the Central Election Commission. I said I don't understand why Central Election Commission is part of the coalition when we don't have an election, but okay, I'm ready to change the Central Election Commission. But the third, they say, we want to change the election law. I said no, because I'm completely against the early parliamentary election. And the changes in the election legislation will be stimulate for you, for Timoshenko, the early parliamentary election, and this is completely unacceptable for me. They said that without this election law, which is no connection, they do not open even discussion about the coalition membership. And without Samopomic, with the rejection of Timoshenko and Leshko, we don't have for Yareska 226. As far as I understand, our partners and our American friends has a significant influence on the Samopomic leaders, and I asked Pavlo to call Tori, and I asked to contact ambassador, maybe to increase the pressure and to support Yareska candidacy by самопомощь. 2 hours ago, immediately after the Facebook message of Yareska, I called Sadovy once again. Unfortunately, he's staying somewhere in Europe for the holiday, and he said that he is not in a position to support Yareska and to give now any positive answer. And this is in the situation when our United States partners give grants to самопомощь and give him the significant financial support. With that situation, I hate the idea to keep uncertainty anymore. And now, in my building, I have a Yatsenyuk, and we started negotiation on other candidacy. So if самопомощь return, we're ready to support Yareska. But if it would be no самопомощь, we now start discussion about Groisman. You remember Groisman, during your very famous and beautiful speech in the parliament, you have a discussion with him.
No, I remember.
President, just 1 minute for Vice President Biden.
Thank you.
Introducing President Poroshenko.
Now I have, and I think we can trust each other, the party of Arseny together with me. They were together during the voting of the general prosecutor, voting of the government, voting of the IMF, and I hope we have a significant level of support. Unfortunately, this is not fully enough. This is almost majority in the parliament. And those who goes to the United States, самопомощь, Timoshenko, and Leshko, who do not go there, for different reasons, completely against that. Because this is the political reason. This has nothing to do with the essence of the agreement. This is just a dirty political tricks. And that's what I'm asking from the Jeffrey. Please do not give the grants to the самопомощь. Do not give them money. Because this is not a financing for the opposition party. This is the financing of the absolutely irresponsible political leader who is doing very bad things for the future of my country and for the Ukraine, for the security and for the stability. That's, I think, first of all, I am completely satisfied with the messages they received in Washington. They were quite strong and quite decisive.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea if you continue to have a press on самопомощь, because if Leshko and Timoshenko, this is a loss, on самопомощь, because you support them, in that situation they could give a positive response, because without самопомощь we cannot even expect any positive things on the constitutional changes.
Okay, all right. Well, look,
that would be impossible, because if I can count on me with a law, election law, I can find out the votes. Without самопомощь, I cannot find out the votes on the constitutional changes. This is very simple.
All right. We will do everything to help you to get the votes. Mr. President, my friend, I'm not going to ask how you are, but I hope you're well.
I'm always feeling well, Mr. Vice President, when I'm speaking with you.
I understand that the Minister of Economy, whose name I can't pronounce, I apologize.
Yeah, Abramovich. I learned it after 3 months of his work in the government.
I understand that other cabinet members signed on to it, didn't they? Or did they?
No. I don't know. Maybe something happened, but I don't know what any other cabinet members has signed. But I doubt that it is happening, but the statement of the Abramovichus was very dangerous. From my point, I never said it publicly, but from my point, it was extremely irresponsible. But it's happened, and I make immediate meeting with him after his statement and said, look, you representing me, President. It was me who invite you in the country. It was me who support you all the time. It was me who give you, in a violation of law, the security guard from the secret services for you not afraid anything. It was me who insisted and support all your initiatives. I give you Ukrainian citizenship, and you still have my full support.
Let me ask you one thing before I forget. Privat Bank. I understand the governor of the bank is tentative about setting a date certain for the transition to take place, and I'm being told secondhand that, I don't know this is her position for sure, that she is unsure of a date until she gets an agreement from you. Here's what I've told them. I've told them to get back to her and set a date, and I would talk to you about the date. Because this is getting very, very close. What I don't want to have happen, I don't want Trump to get in a position where he thinks he's about to buy onto a policy where the financial system is going to collapse and he's going to be looked to pour more money into Ukraine. That's how he'll think about it before he gets sophisticated enough to know the detail. So anything you can do to push the Privat Bank to closure so that the IMF loan comes forward, I would respectfully suggest is critically important to your economic as well as physical security. I know it's difficult. I know Kolomoisky is a pain in the ass and a problem for everybody, but it really is critical that you guys figure this one out. And you've been good. You've publicly spoken out as I've asked you to do. You've done that. I just want you to give the what's she called, the commissioner, the governor, the governor of the bank, give her some spine. Let her know that you're going to be standing there when she sets a date and moves forward.
This is very important what I hear from you, and I think that on the 22nd of November, on Tuesday, I will have a final report from Ernst & Young audit, and we agreed that me, Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, Governor, I invite Arseny and our security officers should meet and make a decision about the date. The only reason I have, after 22nd, when I have an audit report, we have a voting of the budget in the parliament, where Kolomoisky has a significant number of members of parliament, and the Prime Minister asked me to vote budget first and then launching the process. This is the confidential information, but
I will keep that with me. I will keep that with me.